Father, we thank Thee for the opportunity to develop acquaintances to service to our community and to the world. We pray that this meeting will serve to strengthen Rotary in its purpose and in us by service. Amen. We stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test, for those that don't know it, it's on your agenda. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will be beneficial to all concerned. Thank you. You can have a seat. And continue, please feel free to continue eating. Do we have any happy dollars today?
I got two.
Two?
Yeah. One of them nobody's going to give a darn about. We're opening our Mystery Dinner Theater next Friday. So if anybody wants any contribution, get some tickets and go see it, and maybe then I'll have some more money. The second thing is, my granddaughter is in her second year at Miami, but she's spending this year abroad in Luxembourg. But she met up with Theo, our exchange student, because he works in Paris, and they're hanging around together. Remember Theo? Anybody remember Theo?
How about that?
Wow. Anyone remember Theo? Yeah. Nobody? Okay. Okay. Theo.
That's amazing. Isn't that something?
It's a small world.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. That's great. Any other happy dollars? Going once, going twice. Okay. Do we have a songmeister?
Oh, yeah. Now. Real quick. So today's February 11th, which would be my dad's birthday. And it's great. We get to sing because my dad and my mom both were musical people. My dad played his guitar. He'd have 5 of his railroad buddies over on Saturday nights, and the music would just be flying. And mornings while we're getting ready for school, my mom and dad are fixing breakfast. They'd break in and they'd just start dancing. While the kids are sitting around the table waiting for breakfast, we're watching mom and dad dance. And so naturally, we were all around the TV that Sunday night, February 9th, 1964, on the Ed Sullivan Show when America welcomed the Beatles. You know, my mom and dad were all about it too, you know, so I get it naturally. And in honor of that, you know, the Beatles have so many legendary, iconic songs. This one celebrates anti-materialism, the love of nature, the excitement of adventure. Please join me in singing. We'll go through the first chorus. Yellow Submarine. Stand up. Come on now. Let's sing. In the town where I was born lived a man who sailed the sea. We all live in a yellow submarine. A yellow submarine. A yellow submarine. One more time. We all live in a yellow submarine. A yellow submarine. A yellow submarine. All right.
All right.
Happy birthday, Dad.
I'm going to do the second verse.
Second verse?
No.
Second verse. Same as the church.
All right.
We sail to the sea.
All right. We have some guests here today. If I can get your attention. First of all, we have Greg Wolf, who is running right over here. He's running for office to take Scott Olschlager's position because Scott has to retire. So he's here to join us today and introduce himself. So thank you. We also have Hannah Rich, who has been here before, but she showed up today with an application to join our club. How about that? That's wonderful. Thank you. And we look forward to seeing you a lot. So, very good. All right, we have a special event today. We are going to induct a new member. So Greg, can you come up? Kevin Murphy.
All right, Kevin, come on up. I'm not sure where we placed the paddle, but all right. So, club, as you know, it's always a great day when we bring a new member into the club. So, I've known or had a chance to get to know Kevin now since he's come into town and is running the YMCA executive director at the YMCA, and he's doing great work over there. So it's a pleasure to have him on board. And so let's get to it. All right. So today we welcome to our ranks and to membership Kevin Murphy. By virtue of your membership in this club, you'll be welcome to the fellowship in any Rotary around the world, which means you can go to any Rotary club almost any day of the week, anywhere throughout the world, and you'll be welcome as if you're a member of this club. As you know, the ideal of Rotary is service. Our principal motto is service above self, and the objective of this club is to encourage and foster that ideal. The honor and privilege of Rotary membership carries with it duties and obligations. So you're expected to attend club meetings, to perform your share of club service, and to put your talents to work in carrying out the privileges and the duties of Rotary. So here's your pin.
Oh, thank you.
Ideally, you should be wearing your pin to every meeting. We've got a couple people here. And this pin should be worn to each Rotary meeting and as an emblem of your membership and your pride in the good works of Rotary. And I've shared this with the club numerous times when I'm traveling, my suit jackets, I have a Rotary pin on my jacket. And almost every airport I've been in or meeting around the world, there's always been somebody who recognizes the pin and we have a conversation. So this is our four-way test card. So we just recited that as an organization.
Yep.
So as mentioned, the objective of Rotary is to encourage and foster service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular to foster the development of friends, high ethical standards, service, and the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace. We ask you judge your daily actions by the Rotary four-way test. We look forward to you enriching the life of the club and its members through your association with Rotary, which happens to be the world's oldest and largest and finest service organization. And now, by the power vested in me by the Rotary Club of Louisville and District 6650, I declare you to be an active member of the Rotary Club. Rotarians, please welcome Kevin.
So just a reminder that the district has a contest for 8 new members. In 8 weeks will get us into a drawing for $1,000. So we have 1, 2, Tristan would be 3, and that's just starting a week ago or so. So that's pretty good. So we're well on our way, so keep it coming. And those of you that know somebody, just ask. Say, hey, why don't you come to lunch? See what you think. And we'll buy them lunch the first time. Okay. All right. Also, our club is participating in the Dolly Parton Imagination Library to help our local YMCA, I got YMCA on the head now, our local library to raise money so that they can buy these books for the Imagination Library. And it's a great, great program. So we were suggesting if everybody could just put $20 in the pot, we would get up to $500, no problem. And then they would actually get $500 because the club, an extra $500 because the club is going to match
the dollars up to $500. So that would be, if we raise 500, the club puts in 500, we'd be putting $1,000 toward toward that library. And Brock, if you have questions about it, Brock can fill you in more on that because he knows all about it, being a librarian director. Pardon?
I sent a check, well.
Yeah, just
I put
let-
her name on the line.
Just let,
I
Put it in a
put
P.O.
Louisville
box?
Rotary of Louisville, Ohio.
okay.
Did you send it to you? Oh, I don't know.
The address that was on that paper copy was,
I will write it down.
Okay, and just a reminder that the board will have up to 2 seats open, at-large seats for board members. So if you have an interest in participating in that, just let me know or let one of the board members know. Because 2 of the board members are retiring from the board. And also, we have one that threw their hat in the ring to be the, what do you call that? Our sergeant. I never can remember that. I want to say sheriff, but I know that's wrong. Sergeant at arms. If anybody else wants to throw their name in the hat, we'll consider it anybody that puts their name in the hat. So keep that in mind. Next week, we are going to go upstairs and have our meeting. We're going to be in the far northwest corner. If that doesn't work, we'll go where the stage is, in front of the stage, and try to wrap ourselves around the corner. The plan is that they'll eventually have a curtain going across to seal off the stage so that we'll have privacy. But, we have to keep in mind that we are, when they built this place, it was the ADA didn't require an elevator or anything like that. There's talk, I guess, someday they may put one in, but for now, it's a complicated thing for us. I was telling somebody we got 2 knees that got replaced this year already, and 1 hip. So we got and Cynthia is the toughest person I know around because she goes up and down those stairs after a knee replacement, doesn't even phase her. So if there's anybody tougher than her, I don't know. So, all right.
We're doing this for you.
Last thing I want to say is that the pickleball tournament has been scheduled for April 25th. So if you know any pickleball players out there, let them know it's coming. I think Sandor put out a promotion. I sent it on to the district and so that they can share with other clubs. We had a great turnout last year, and actually we made some money. It was a good fundraiser for us. So that's great. Okay, Brock, would you like to come up and introduce our speaker?
Oh, you don't have to clap for me. You don't have to clap for me. That's okay. We'll clap at Kurt, though. Kirk. So I want to introduce Kirk Greaves today. He's become a good friend of mine. Lives here in Louisville off of Nickel Plate. Kirk has a variety of interests. He's a major gifts officer at Malone. He's been featured in the Canton Repository as an antique dealer. He's been in Louisville Neighbors, too, or is that coming up? Coming up, he'll be in Louisville Neighbors. So he's a really man of many interests, a Renaissance guy, and I think you all will really like him. So, Kirk.
So you guys didn't have to stare at my face. I did create a few slides, so we'll pull this out. If I can get this to work. I hope so. I hope so too. If not, it's going to be rather boring.
I think I had it on HDMI too. Yep.
There we go.
You got it. If you can't see it, you can move that. Anybody needs to move, but to another table, so feel free to.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kirk Greaves, and so when Brock initially asked me to do this, my hesitation was almost to say no, because I didn't want to stand up here and talk about myself for 15 or 20 minutes. A very strange thing to me. But then, I remind myself that I lead an interesting life, and some that you might find it interesting. So up here on the screen, this is me and my 3 kids. We live, like Brock said, over off of Nickel Plate. I've been there about 5 years now. I grew up in East Canton, born and raised there, all 12 years, went to school there. I'm still involved with athletics, and I do help with some of their historical items there. And so I graduated from there, and then once I graduated from there, I did attend Malone University for my undergrad from 2004 to 2009. And so, we were talking at the table here, I did run for Michelin Township trustee 3 years ago. It seemed against like 500 people. It was 5 of us. Good grief. So I'm going to be running again next fall, so fall of 2027. I do sit on a couple committees through the Pro Football Hall of Fame and through the Canton Chamber of Commerce. During Hall of Fame week, I'm usually pretty busy helping all the players out. I've been able to come up with some really good relationships with those guys, so it's been really fun. So yeah, this is that's my youngest Molly, kindergarten at LES. Elias is in 3rd grade, LES, and then Riley's in 6th, and she's over at the middle school. So just real quick to give you a little bit of background on kind of my journey through my professional career. So for about 8 years, I was with the Stark County Board of DD. I ran the Special Olympics program through the county, and so I had roughly 500 athletes through about 7 or 8 different sports. So I essentially was the athletic director for the county board. But on top of that, I was the MANT coordinator, and MANT is the behavioral support system that the staff and faculty would use on the individuals, whether they're having a behavior or something. And so I had to ensure that those staff would receive recertification each year. So there was 700 staff that I had to recertify, and I also taught all of the first aid and CPR for the county board. So I loved my time there. It was wonderful, so that was kind of a stepping stone into my role at the Hartville Marketplace and Flea Market. Has everyone in the room been to the flea market? It's so funny. It's such a common thing. Everyone can relate to it. So this definitely opened the most opportunities for me in my life. I was there for 8 years, so I had a lot of different titles. I was public relations coordinator. I was director of marketing. I was the event coordinator, and I also managed the flea market. And so I wore a lot of different hats. And in a family business, rather than overspending on staff, we just did a lot extra. God love the Millers. I love them. But I had a lot of responsibilities. But I hosted over 60 events annually. I had a sports card show once a month, coin show, antique show. I did a Jeep show, Fall Arts and Crafts. If anyone attends the Fall Arts and Crafts show up there each year, that was mine. So I really utilized my events to help generate foot traffic. And the last year I was there, 2023, we had about 1.3 million people come through the flea market. So it's a bigger draw than the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So it's the biggest draw in Stark County, which was really fun. So I'm going to come back to this because part of the events is where I generated a ton of really, really fun relationships that I still carry to this day. I still tap into, but I'm going to come back to that. But moving forward, currently I'm back at Malone as the major gifts officer, which kind of essentially means, in layman's terms, I'm really good at kissing butt. I'm really good at going out to lunch. My main responsibility is nurturing relationships and building new ones for the university. If someone has desires to be a donor or already is a donor and we're looking just to nourish that relationship, that's kind of where I come in. I will go visit with them. I will check in, and it's wonderful. And Malone has been a very big blessing to me. Does anyone have any kids or family or anyone in here go to Malone? Who went to Malone? Anybody? Oh man, let's open at least one. Okay. Oh, okay. You have
Grandson.
Yeah, okay. There's so many Stark County schools. I mean, we're puking education in Stark County. So Malone's also another one. I mean, we've been around since 1895. And so, I don't know if you guys remember, but back in 19 when they cut the football program, Malone's numbers, I'll just be straight up, they were awful. I mean, attendance was declining, and then COVID hit, which affected almost every, higher education around. And so numbers in 2020 were really, really bad. And so I just wanted to give you guys a couple updates on Malone. I know you don't want me to spew about the university, but we are on a very good trending up streak right now, which is really exciting. And so we currently have 783 undergrad. And just for context, when I was there from 04 to 09, there were 1,300 undergrad. So some of these numbers are about by half. And 783 is the highest it's been in 3 years. So we're going about 4 or 5% in enrollment each year. Fundraising, see, it's amazing when you have an establishment that means so much to people. People want to give to it and want to see it succeed. So in regards to fundraising, like we have a goal each year of 3.5 million to raise, and we are ahead of goal. We've already raised over $1 million, and so our donors have been a huge blessing, and they're really doing a lot for the students. Our biggest thing that's really attracting new students is our trades program. So let's say you have a kid in high school. He wants to go and start making money, and he wants to get accreditation in welding, for instance. You can come to Malone, get your certification, be a certified welder, and go work and be a welder. But you can also participate in NCAA sports and earn a business degree as well on top of your trade. So, down the road, if you want to go and be a business owner or kind of take it to the next leadership role, there's really not a whole lot of schools that are doing stuff with the trade. So right now we have welding in place. Cosmetology is next. I guess the demand for cosmetology is just unbelievable, and then we're gonna look into HVAC and all that kind of stuff. So that's exciting. And then on campus housing, I don't know if you guys have been on many college campuses recently, but the big thing there is apartment style living. So back when I was in college, I mean the dorm rooms kind of looked like cells from World War II. You had a bunk bed and brick walls and a wooden desk, but now, these students that don't want to live at home, they want to have their own kitchenette. They want to have their own private bathroom. They kind of want that apartment style living so that they can get their feet wet for when they get out of school. So we're currently under construction in Duval Hall. And so that's a girls' dorm. And so by fall, of this year, that will be open, and we'll get some students going in there. So just wanted to give you some updates on Malone. We're doing much better. Dr. Miller, the president, he's been there 3 years now, and he's a fabulous, fabulous guy. So keep Malone in your prayers as we continue to serve as many students as we can. And to be honest, we have a lot of Louisville folks. Zach Versenko, a great friend of mine. His dad's still at the middle school. He's the head track coach. And we have runners on the team. So a lot of Stark County school kids come to Malone for multiple reasons. So, I just wanted to mention that. So, oh man, that's Brock's fault. He's supposed to be up here clicking buttons for me.
Where'd you go? That's a long password.
I'm safe, okay? All right, so let's back up to when I was at the Hartville Marketplace. So like I said, my job at Malone is to build relationships, right? And so it kind of started when I was at the Marketplace. So for one of our events, or a lot of our events, we had a sports card show, but we also would bring a lot of signers in, celebrities. People would come on their own dimes. And so I was able to nourish a lot of relationships while I was there. And so I put some of these up here just for people that you guys might recognize from like Cleveland area and what's great is all these people we brought in, I still have relationships with these guys. And so I get to lean on them for, certain things. So who remembers Carlos and Omar Vizquel? That's right. So here's Joe Thomas. That was right after he got inducted. He came up to the Marketplace. Josh Cribbs, he's a longtime Browns guy. Joe, help me. Thank you, Flacco. When he was with the Browns for a hot minute, he came up, and that's Marion Koblenz next to Joe Flacco. He's the president of the Marketplace now. Sandy Alomar. So Richard Karn, does anyone remember what he's from? Home Improvement. So he was awesome. We were doing a huge tool expo, and what better person to bring in for the hardware than Richard Karn. And so I brought him in for 2 days. I actually took him to Gervasi. That's where we were there. He lives out in California now, but I still stay in contact with him. When I ran 3 years ago for trustee, Bernie Kozar came down to scratch, and he was there signing autographs, and we had fun. Josh Cribbs, he's no longer in Cleveland, so shouldn't have put him up there.
He still has a show.
He's still on
Cribs
that.
and commercials.
No, no, I'm sorry, Nick Chubb. All these names, yeah, he's hurt and whatever. Does anyone know who these guys are? This is the perfect crowd to know this answer. I shouldn't have said that. You guys might know. That's Dukes of Hazzard. We brought them up. And this is going to sound. I actually got a pair of really short cut jean shorts, and I had Daisy sign them, but I don't leave them on display. This was my favorite guy we brought in, William Shatner. So my name's Kirk. My dad was a huge Trekkie in the '80s, and so they settled on Kirk. And so I brought William in, and that's actually my dad there, and that was fun. Does anyone watch American Pickers? So that's Robbie Wolf, Mike's brother. Him and I, well, all of me and the guys have really good relationships. So in my antique world, we're really good friends. And then the Hargroves, Mike and Sharon Hargrove, they are very dear friends of mine. They are super close with my kids, and they're just really wonderful people. So we go to at least a few games with them each year. I'm going to try to get out to Arizona. That's where they reside in the wintertime. So and Mike's a big golfer. That's his main thing. But he's still on staff in Cleveland. He still helps player development and everything. But good. All right, so also my life in Hartville was this side of things. I mean, running a flea market for almost 10 years, you're going to run into junk, right? Treasures in my world. But so I put a few pictures up here and the reason I'm going to show you this is I tell my kids all the time, like, you have all these iPads and screens and gaming systems. And when I was a kid, the only time I came inside is when I wanted to eat. And so, like, I'm trying to teach my kids that there's more in this life than these stinking technology screens. And so I've been really diving into them with antiques and culture, and where we are today is because of all these things. And so these are some of the things that I have that I found throughout the years. Did anyone see, this is the most recent one I found, that trunk. Did anyone see it in the paper? So I was at a property in Canton, right on Myers Lake, and on the side of the trunk was, long story short, this was William McKinley's travel trunk when he was campaigning. So there was a set of two. His is actually at the museum in Canton, and on this side of this one it says Mrs. William McKinley, and so this was Ida's. And so I found that, and of course I had to have it. I found this about 4 years ago. That was the very first printing of the Canton Repository. And so I donated that to Mark over at the McKinley Museum. So it's over there on display. This is kind of cool. This is a document from President James Monroe, and it was for Nimish Township, and he signed it. So anything local. That was the very first U.S. Post Office sign to be in East Canton, obviously where I went to school. It's double-sided, and I have a picture of it from the 20s. It's all hand-painted. That's hanging in my living room. So, not to spark controversy, everyone knows LeBron James, right? Okay, whether you like him or you don't like him. So, this was about 5 years ago. There was a locker that came up for, storage locker. There was one that came up for sale up in Akron. And after we got into it, we had found out that it belonged to Gloria James, LeBron's mom. And so we got in there, and I found it was the most unbelievable find. I mean, there were shoes that were gifted to LeBron from Adidas, trying to get him to sign. That was a game-worn high school jersey. I found his All-American jersey. It was like a treasure trove of LeBron stuff. I unfortunately sold a lot of it because I had to recoup some money, but I still do have a couple things. And then this one here, this is one of my favorites. I don't have that one anymore. So, what year did the Indians win the World Series?
48.
This, no.
No, 1920. So 1920.
Were they the Spiders then, though?
They didn't win in 54. They were swept in 4 games.
Yeah. Here we go. It's going to be a fight now. So this here was in game, I don't know if it was game 7 or game 6. I forget how many games it went. But this was the ball boy uniform in the 48 World Series for the Indians. And it was picture matched, and it was because when I got him, like, boy, this guy was tiny. I was like, I mean, I know we're bigger nowadays, but it ended up being the ball boy for the team. And so so this is a little glimpse. There's a lot of history in Stark County, like it's oozing history. And I have, like the museum in downtown here for all the Louisville stuff. And so this is a big part of my life, from buying and selling it to I do a lot of consulting for people with collections for insurance purposes or estate sales or whatever. But I do a lot with local history. So I don't think. I also have chickens and ducks. So if you ever need eggs, but they are the dumbest breed of chicken ever. I mean, what's the movie Moana where the chicken's just eating a rock? They are dumb. They don't even lay eggs. I don't even know I have them. But yeah. So I just want to say thank you very much. And it's funny. I lived in Louisville for 15 years now, and I know a couple of you in here. But it's funny. Louisville's bigger than you think it is, and so I appreciate the opportunity for Brock to ask me to come. And if you have any questions regarding Malone or junk or eggs or whatever, yeah. I'll tell you what, these last 2 weeks, my chickens have been on strike. They got frostbite on their combs. I know. So I bring my ducks in. I let them take a bath in my. I'm not a hillbilly. I just feel bad for them. Do you have a question, Brock? So it's the same story you always hear. I was in a basement of this old guy's house, and it was buried in a box. He's like, yeah, someone gave me that back in the 60s, and I forgot I had it. And when I got it authenticated, I was just blown away because it had the original cheap Wahoo on the sleeve, and it was really cool. It was a cool piece. But yeah, I found it in an old guy's basement
In Stark County.
in Stark County. Yep.
Kirk,
Yeah.
what would Christine Roberto Clemente rookie baseball card? It's just an area.
Is it graded? Do you know what that means? So in the sports card industry, you get it graded, and so that grading means absolutely everything. The difference between an 8 and a 10 could be $20,000-$30,000. So there is value to it, but high cards like that, I send cards in all the time. That would be one I would send in.
More importantly, a pristine.
Like a Gem Mint 10, Roberto Clemente.
No, we're
Okay.
I know.
Move on.
Clemente, that's my all-time favorite player.
Okay.
But a pristine vinyl album, rubber sole of the Beatles, sealed,
50 cents.
sold.
Not that much. They made so many of them, but there are albums out there, and it's a big craze anymore. Vinyls are like, I hate to say vinyls are back, but they are. It's a really big industry anymore. Yep.
I understand too. It's only worth something if you sell it.
That's correct. Yeah, and people go, "Oh, it's listed for $9 million on eBay." I'm like, you can list it for whatever you want, but what is it selling for? People say it all the time. So, yeah.
I understand you spent some time in Peru.
Yeah.
And I wondered if you could tell us about that.
Yeah. So, my second bachelor's at Malone was Spanish. I don't know why. When I was in East Canton, I took German, French, and Spanish. I love language, and so. At that time, Malone had a Spanish degree, a bachelor's, and so as part of my study, I had to travel abroad, and so I went to it's a little town called Trujillo, Peru, just north of Lima, and I stayed at a special needs orphanage for a while. And so what I did there is most of the kids there had special needs, we're spoiled Americans here, and we really don't understand things until we travel abroad. And so, these kids, they weren't just born with special needs. They have delays because their parents tried to bury them because they couldn't feed them and they were out of oxygen for a day, or they were sold on the black market and just left to die. So the stories of why those kids were there was horrific. However, being able to teach them English and to spend time with them and make breakfast for them, and it was pretty amazing. Although, fun story, first night there, I was exhausted, airports all day. All I had was this room, like with tiles like this and a bed with a mattress like this. I woke up in the morning and I had 1,000 welts from bed bug bites. So I had to go to the local pharmacy just to get something to get my swelling down. But bed bugs don't like UV light. So I took my mattress and I went and put it on the rooftop. They came out like lava. And so I slept on the floor for the rest of my stay there. But it was a wonderful trip. I'd love to take my kids back there, but right now traveling internationally is just kind of sketchy and a little scary. So, but yeah, that was a great trip. Yep, that was awesome. Yes, sir.
So, did Bad Bunny say anything good? You speak Spanish. What was that about?
Well, first of all, he speaks Spanish very fast. I can I plead the fifth?
Yes.
I'm going to plead the fifth. I mean, listen, if you like Latin music and that stuff, great. I think I zoned out for most of it, but and I zoned out a lot for the game too. It was a pretty boring Super Bowl. Any other questions? Yeah.
With Malone, what's your target on your endowment? Where are you sitting now? And
So endowment currently is just a hair under 30 million, and Dr. Miller's goal within 10 years, which this is a very aggressive goal, is about 60 million. But so I mentioned earlier, for undergrad we have like 780. For Malone to be viable and financially secure just on tuition dollars alone, we need at least 1,000 undergrad. And so we're really tapping into Lake Center Christian. We're tapping into all the private Christian universities, because out of all of those schools locally in Northeast Ohio, we only got 5 students from there last year, which makes no sense. I mean, it just, we don't know. So Dr. Miller, we're doing some really cool programs like with Lake Center. If you, because we have a partnership with them, if you want to be a teacher, you come from Lake Center to Malone, we'll match any state pricing, and then you return back to your school and teach for 2 or 3 years. So there's different incentives that we're doing. But yeah, we're about 30 million right now for endowment. Yep. Yeah.
I think you said the highest enrollment total was 1,350.
That's not the highest ever. That's what it was when I was a student.
What's the highest ever?
Over 2,000.
2,000. So that's 500 students per year. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and right,
What is it today?
783 total. I know.
200 per class.
Just a little over 200 per class. Next year, though, fall of 2026, with commitments and everything, we're going to be close, a little over 900. So we're trending up, and more, these trade programs and different things. So yeah.
To be a university, my guess is you have to produce so many curriculums. Am I correct?
No, not necessarily. Essentially, why Malone went to university instead of college was because university, you can globally attract way more students than you can just in the States. So I don't think it requires a certain amount of majors or master's program. I didn't mention either, we have about 300 people at Malone in the master's programs, whether it's MBA or we have a big psychology master's, counseling. But I don't know the exact specifications on the differentiation between college and university. I just know it puts you on a more global scale, because like with soccer and everything, we get a lot of international players. Here's what's interesting. In a healthy university, 60% of your student body are traditional students and 40% are athletes. Malone right now is almost flopped, where we have 60% of our students are athletes and 40 are traditional. And so we're working on getting that number, swapped. It just shows how important college athletics really are to, sustainability and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Are you using any companies like Capture or Niche as far as enrollment enhancement?
Our admissions office uses all kinds of those things. I'm in the advancement, so I don't do a lot with admissions, but apparently they are trying every single thing that they know how to try. So,
And how many high school students in Stark County would you say are, college plus, whatever, taking courses through their high school, being funded by the state?
not as many as you'd think, especially at Malone. A lot of kids do those more through state colleges like Stark State or whatnot. So Malone does have some of those programs, but that's really not our bread and butter, and I don't really think we focus too much on that.
You don't go after that market?
No, that's not our 3 most popular bachelors is nursing, education, and business administration. Nursing, over the last 2 years, we've had 100% pass rate on NCLEX, which I guess is it's pretty good in the nursing world. So, but yeah, it's the trades thing's cool because, I can become a welder and I can also play baseball. And, so we're trying to find those differentiations of how we can be different other than Northeast Ohio's, Christ-centered university, but there's a lot of education in Northeast Ohio. I mean, you drive within an hour of here, you can go to a lot of different big schools. So, yep. Anything else? Or are you guys done hearing me ramble? Well, thank you guys very much. I appreciate the opportunity, and my contact info is up there.
Thank you, Kirk.
Yes, sir.
That was very entertaining. Learned a lot. Really. Not so much on Bad Bunny, though.
I had to watch the other. I had a school party, so I.
Yeah. Could you get one out of the cupboard? Straight back. Second cupboard over. Thank you. So we got a draw for the money. Rotoball. I'm gonna have Kurt pull a number out of here. Reach in there and grab a tip. His name. Read it.
Might be me.
You know who the original number 23 was.
Whoa, we got a winner. So let's see if you are a big winner.
Ooh, I hope so.
Where the five?
It was later. Check it out.
Did you? Oh, you got it.
It was the original 23.
You know.
How much? The immigration library?
Big thing.
So there's got to be a lot of money in it. We're not
Nope, lost.
Okay.
Darn, Brock.
I was thinking the imagination library was thinking about.
Yeah, that's what.
Is this what was?
Oh, it's really.
Anything else for the good of the order today? Thank you. Have a good week.